Hi everyone, and welcome to Let's Get to the Epilogue. First things first, I think we have to say, go birds!
Go birds!
Woo! There is no time that I'm more patriotic than when America's in the Olympics and the Eagles won a Super Bowl.
Period.
So, period. We just have to start with that. But now let's get into Anathema, because we've been teasing this for like weeks, so let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
As you know, we read Anathema. It was a gothic romantasy, and that was different for us.
Yeah.
It was scary.
It was scary. A lot of body horror. A lot of creepy
the body
shit.
horror. A lot of bugs. There
bugs.
was so many bugs.
A lot of trauma.
So much trauma, which we're going to get into. Listen, we have a list of topics to cover. I don't know if we're all going to be able to get all of them, but the first one says, he's a victim, please go to therapy. So that's where we're going with this.
Yeah, victim, all caps. And the he in question, MMC Zavander, 7 foot tall, 500-year-old, scary, handsome guy.
Oh, wait, no. You're right. Let's go there. Let's set the scene with our characters, right? So we have... This is a dual point of view book, so half the chapters are from our male main character, MMC's point of view, and then half the chapters are from our female main character, FMC's point of view. Her name is Mavis. Top 3 qualities about Mavis.
Top 3 qualities about Mavis. Stubborn, but like in a good way, I think.
Outcast.
And...
Goth.
So, period. That's
like, right?
Yeah.
Stubborn, outcast, goth. Top 3 about Zavander.
Top 3 about Zavander. Deadly / mysterious. I want to just make them one. You know?
No, that's not fair.
I feel like they work together though.
No.
Okay. Trauma.
Top 3 qualities. Trauma. So fucking real.
Protective.
Bugs. Scorpions
Specifically, yeah. So real.
And they're connected. So Mavis, we start the story with Mavis as like an outcast in like the human world, which is giving like Lemony Snicket.
Yeah. It's giving like London in the 1800s.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Covered in smog and gloom. Like nobody saw the sun more than like 2 days per year.
Like not sure if they have running water.
So true. Everyone dresses in like gray and black.
Yes, yeah.
Really big fear of the church.
Yeah, okay. And it's also like there are a lot of Christian themes in this book. So she's like an outcast, and then there's this thing called the Eating Woods, where if people are like banished to it for like breaking their like rules of their religion, which are very similar to Christian rules, like no sex before marriage, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And so it starts with like a banishment. We see how someone gets banished there and they die.
And it's explained that she's kind of been a pariah her whole life.
Yeah.
Due to the way she was like left at somebody's doorstep with like a black rose.
Yeah, they're like, oh, she's like of the devil.
Yeah, no, she's a demon child for sure.
No, literally. Like I saw Goody Proctor dancing with the devil, and she's Goody Proctor.
Yeah, literally. Goody Mavis.
No, I saw Goody Mavis dancing with the devil. So fucking real. I'm gonna have to bleep out of this.
And Zavander didn't have a much better childhood. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Starts off with his family just like actively being tortured by this dark wizard.
Yeah, the beginning of this book, I was like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know where this is going. The beginning is really sad. We're trying to make this like medium spoilery so you could still read it and be surprised. So we're not going to give too much away, but the beginning was really sad. His whole childhood was really sad. He had a lot of trauma. All different types of trauma. Like the first bullet here we have is he's a victim. Please go to therapy.
Yeah. Physical. Emotional. Sexual trauma. Yep. Psychological.
Gonna have to bleep that out, but yeah.
Period.
A lot of trauma that he doesn't handle, and that he's like honed into being an assassin.
Yeah, he said, my therapy is killing people and giving other people trauma.
Yeah, so, he's not doing well.
Nah.
But he's like an assassin for the king now or something. It's also the same king that locked him up. It's really crazy. But the way that they cross paths is he's sent into the human world to like kill her or something because she has something to do with
Yeah, she has
getting his curse lifted.
Yes.
He's also cursed. So I'll add that to the trauma list.
Yeah, period. But he can't.
But he can't kill her.
And somehow she is fleeing her village, crosses the veil into his land, the immortal world.
And then the veil is the Eating Woods.
Yeah, the veil is past the Eating Woods.
So she has to go through that, like, weird, creepy place where everyone dies.
Yeah.
That's important to know.
Yeah, it's fucked up in there. A lot of fucked up shit happened in there.
So really?
To
That part of the book, the horror, there's a part of the book where the villain unhinges his jaw.
Like a snake. Yeah.
Like a snake. And eats someone.
Yeah.
I could not sleep.
Yeah.
I was so scared at that visual. I was like, this is beyond.
That was really early. That was pretty early in the book, too. And from there, you know truly what the vibe of the book is going to be.
No, like, horror. You know, things are about to get really messed up really quickly. And so she ends up back, like, as his prisoner somehow.
Yes.
Well, we know how, but we'll let you guys figure it out by reading the book. And that's how their relationship, like, gets started. And, like, we see the tension and we see, like, her, like, resisting him. We also meet his sister. Rikia, whose name I thought was Rikia. Also, to know, we were, like, taking a long drive. We listened to some weird bootleg audiobook of this on YouTube that I think is there legally. I hope so. If it's not, we'll cut this. But, so if you need an audio way to listen to this book, it is on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's a good read. Even though it's long.
It was, oh my God, it was so long.
It was so long, but it was interesting. It wasn't like, oh God, I got to read so many chapters to get to the good part. Like,
no.
It stayed interesting.
The other thing, too, though, is it's a slow burn. And I think because the author was doing a slow burn, she knew she had to make the rest of the story meaty, interesting, and detailed. And she delivered. Because I feel like with some fantasies, they think they're doing a slow burn. And maybe they even are, but they don't invest in the setting. They don't invest in, like, the atmosphere. They don't invest in the plot at all. They're just like, oh, like, it takes them forever to get together. And you're bored.
Yeah. And the thing she does well about a slow burn is the tension. They don't just go away from each other.
Yeah.
But she's referencing, oh, he's thinking about her. She's thinking about him. So even though they're not interacting, the reader knows that they're occupying each other's minds.
Yeah.
And also for detail, she alludes so much like these other races in the Magic Lands, these other places, which I think leads up really well for her to make, like, other books in this series.
Yeah, she said I think there was initially supposed to be 2. And she said that Zavander, the MMC's backstory, is now so long and vast and has so much trauma that she needs to make a third book in there to, like, really incorporate everything.
Yeah, I mean, she gave herself that room, though, too, and all the details, which I like.
No, she did. So the second thing we have is spiders, scorpions, and arachnids. In other words, bugs. Disgusting, gross bugs.
Yeah. And not just, like, little tiny bugs that, like, we're used to, like, on Earth. Like, these are, like, weird demon fire spider scorpions that, like, grow to the size of, like, a house cat or larger.
Homicidal bugs.
Yeah.
I did not know that Gothic romantasy horror included homicidal bugs. I might have reconsidered.
Yeah. No, they're really scary. One scene is just millions of spiders chasing after her. And
her getting engulfed in millions of spiders. And just, like, dying. Like, or not dying, but, like, she doesn't die.
Yeah.
Or maybe she does, I don't know.
But, like, she thinks she's going to.
No, like, she is, like, engulfed. She's like, well, this is the end for me. I'm like, girl, get up! Stand up!
I personally felt my skin crawl. I was like, I feel the spiders on me.
No, literally.
And if we're talking about arachnids, we gotta talk about Zavander's brother.
Ooh. Like, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
What's his name? Bremen?
You know what? That's so true. So the reason we're recording this podcast so late is because I read this book in, like, a week, 2 weeks maybe. He took, like, 2 months. So maybe I don't remember at this point people's names and the names of the places. Because, listen, we need to, like, be real honest. In these fantasy books, everything's made up. They're disregarding the rules of the English language. They're putting vowels next to consonants, next to vowels. None of these names are making sense.
Yeah.
So, for this point, his name is Branimir.
So, period. I think that's pretty close.
Actually, let's just call him B.
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 Period.
Okay, sorry, you go.
So B was the first one that was cursed in their family, and then it was Evander, and B got the curse a lot worse.
Yeah.
A lot worse.
I think because it had, like, more time to cook in him or something. Like, he got the full curse.
Oh, he was older too, they said.
Yeah, he was older. That's true, too.
Yeah, he wasn't a baby. If you got it, like, as a baby, it impacted you less.
Yeah.
So he twists and morphs as he gets older and grows to maturity into this weird spider arachnid, like little like gremlin living in the dungeons.
They did.
It's giving like Gollum if Gollum was a spider.
They literally describe his skin as tree bark at this point.
Forgot about that.
And it is giving Gollum because they put him in the basement and they feed him raw meat.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, I really like this book. Before we go further, what are your ratings?
Out of 5 stars, let's use the Goodreads reading.
Not Goodreads reading.
Good read.
Let's use a Goodreads reading.
Whatever. I'm gonna give it a 4.2. It was a really good book.
I would actually agree with you. Okay, so this is above 4 stars. We agree. It was a really good book.
Yeah.
But at this point in the book, I was like, I don't care how good this book is. Why the heck do they have some human Gollum morph person living in the basement feeding him raw meat?
Yeah.
That is like, and then the other thing, the spiders. The whole point we started talking about this. He has spiders that he controls.
Yeah, they're like born from him.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, and he doesn't really like the raw meat. He's like, yeah, like I prefer if you like cooked it, but it's like the spiders prefer it raw, so like serve it raw. And it's like, love yourself. Like
love your family at least.
Love your family. Well, the spiders are his family now. So.
And okay, the other thing too is he prefers to be down there. I feel like that's like a really important point is that he prefers to live in the basement and eat raw meat with the spiders.
Yeah, they didn't just put him down there.
They didn't just put him down there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like they should have before, but whatever. And scorpions, Evander creates the scorpions.
Yeah.
To fight the spiders.
Yeah.
Because his brother accidentally like had a little episode tried to kill him.
Yeah.
So he's like, what's worse than a spider? Scorpion.
And I feel like that's a great segue into talking about the spice.
So true.
Now that we're off bugs.
So true. I like how spice is, even if it's not spicy, it's alluded to throughout the whole book. Like Mavis' sister is getting spicy, and it's like, oh, like...
Yeah. It's really interesting that you said she's getting spicy. You mean that she's like a prostitute?
Mavis' sister is
a prostitute. Whoa.
I mean,
wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean...
So real.
Either way, it's up because the spice
I'm going to have to bleep that.
Oh,
You're so...
Either way, the spice is messed up because the spice is with her uncle. So, it's less spice and more incest.
Can I just speak my truth?
Yeah.
He doesn't... Actually, you did read Mortal Instruments, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm just glad that there is finally another book that we can talk about that has a sort of incest plot. Because I am tired of my girl Cassandra Clare getting all the heat. Okay. They weren't really brother and sister. Spoiler alert. They weren't. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Mavis' sister.
Oh, yeah. She did have a relationship with her step-uncle.
It's, if you have to say step-uncle versus uncle, it's not, at that point,
you have to argue whether or not it's incest, we've already gone too far.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's great. Another thing checked off the list.
And we have to at least reference the other uncle.
If one of the uncles is doing incest and the other uncle's doing necrophilia, what does that say about the family?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're doing some they're doing some messed up stuff in the Mortal Lands, man.
Period. Period.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the spice. You know.
Oh yeah, my bad.
What would you rate this in spice?
That's kind of tough, like, because it was a slow burn. There wasn't a lot of spice, but the spice scenes were very good.
Yeah, that's the thing. They were good. They were juicy.
They were very juicy. So I guess overall, due to the lack of overall spice, a 3. But when I was reading the actual spice, like a 4, 4, 5.
Okay. So we have different ratings there. I was thinking 2 to 2.5. Maybe we'll make another video going over like our spice ratings and what they mean.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you've read much raunchier stuff than I have.
Yeah. It's not even raunchy. A lot of what goes into my spice ratings too is not what's on page, but also how often it's done.
Yeah, so this book wasn't done often at all. That's why I give it an overall 3.
Yeah, I think there were only 2 explicit spicy scenes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm giving it like probably 2.5.
Yeah.
Because they were explicit. I think they were written very well.
Very well.
I think what she had them do in it was interesting.
Mm-hmm. The way they're using magic.
Yeah. Like I think they were very good. Titillating, if you will. That was weird. But I feel like because this is a gothic romantasy horror, she did incorporate those elements in the book with like sexual scenes at the end, if you know what I'm talking about. So it was kind of like, you're reading it, you're like, I wanted the guy to be over. But it was good.
Yeah, it was good. What was I gonna say in regards to the spice?
I have here about his 10 piercings. And we're not going to say where, because this is already, I'm going to have to bleep so much if we say where. But imagine where 10 piercings could be, and what a piercing, every time he gets an inch, he gets a piercing. Imagine what that could be.
What could that mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can never remove them.
They're
magically lodged there.
And they are tied to his trauma?
Yeah.
They're tied to his trauma.
Yeah.
They're tied to his trauma, but they're also mentioned in a way, I feel like, to like be explicit and titillating and enjoyable. I keep saying titillating because I feel like that means like enjoyable. Like you're supposed to be excited about it. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah. What else?
And I've never seen or heard of that before. It's just like, I love a good indie author because they are coming up with some crazy stuff, man.
They are.
And they're putting it in their books because they don't have a publisher to tell them no. And it's just like, maybe there's 3 times I'm patriotic. The Olympics, when the Eagles win the Super Bowl, and when indie authors are putting crazy stuff in their romance books because they don't have a publisher to stop them. God bless America.
Amen to that. Period. Something else I was going to say. Zavander, he's there for the girls. Right?
He is. Evander's a man for the girls.
Yeah.
And you don't see that in many fantasy mailman characters. I feel like they say they are, Reese, but you don't see, like, actually in actions, but, like, he's for the girls.
Yeah.
There was one point where he had to choose between his sister and Mavis, and he chose his sister. I thought that was, like, really telling. I don't know. Like, that shows me, like, oh, like, you, like, don't just say you care, like you're 10 toes down, like, because that's your girl and you're choosing your sister, your family, and you love and care and support her, and I just appreciated that.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. Despite being really fucked up assassin with a lot of trauma. Good guy. At heart.
Yeah.
At heart. Deep
in there.
What should we go to now?
I feel like this is a good place to end it with our segment of 10 fantasy mailman characters that also need therapy, like Zavander.
Period.
The first one, I'm going to go with Cassian.
Yeah. He's been to therapy at least once or twice.
You know what? That's so true.
But he stopped going.
He stopped going. That's so real.
He needs to go back, especially when he got his wings torn off. He needs to be back there.
Yeah. I feel like he started to deal with Nesta, and he was like, I need more. I need something more than this. Yeah. Therapy's not cutting it.
Yeah. His brother-in-arms, Azrael.
Ooh.
The worst spy master alive.
Bod. He is the worst spy master alive. That's another video. But... Bod, he needs therapy, Bod. We don't even know all the different ways that he needs therapy, but we know that he needs it. He might be at the top of the list.
Tamlin.
Oh, you're so right.
No, I mean,
I want him to have a redemption arc so bad.
Yeah, he needs therapy. He needs it. He needs like multiple therapists, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no one likes him, and like I get it, you're like not supposed to, whatever, but I do. I like Tamlin. Hunt.
Oof. Hunt Athalar.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Therapy's not enough. He needs like the electrotherapy.
He needs a lobotomy.
He needs a lobotomy.
He needs a lobotomy.
Like even SSRIs aren't gonna do it.
No, like he needs the electroshock therapy. Something like he needs help, bro.
Yeah, that's bad.
You refuse to read Throne of Glass, but
oh, brother,
Sam Portland needs therapy.
Bod
From the Afterlife. Spoiler. Like if you haven't read it yet, I don't know. It's not on me at this point, but he needs help.
Good. This is one you haven't read. Brandon Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
Kaladin. He's been a slave, escaped.
Oh yeah, you told me about him.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
He needs therapy. Bod.
This is one you haven't read. I'm gonna say Kiernan. From Blood and Ash. You don't know about this, but I think for having to put up with Castile and Poppy for as long, I think that series is still going, which is insane. He needs help. Bod. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Another fun episode of Let's Get to the Epilogue. Leave us our next book in the comments because we have to pick a new one or more video ideas. Bye guys.